Hey, what's up everybody? I got another knife here for you. We're going to try a little bit different video setup. We got two lights instead of one, so maybe there'll be a little bit more glare, but hopefully you can get maybe a little bit more color on everything. And then also we're going to try and do a few more things keeping this stuff in frame. I think before everything's looked a little shifted to the right, so I'm going to try and keep things maybe to the left. I don't know how I'm looking through the camera screen, it looks a little bit different, so we'll try to keep things centered for you going forward. So a new knife, brand new Medford Praetorian Ti, custom, hand ground by Greg Medford himself. Really excited about this one. I got it yesterday, opened it up and everything, but I just wanted to show you the packaging. Once again, it's pretty nice. Comes in this custom Pelican case, and then on here, flip that around, has a little dog tag with Medford Knife and Tools information. That's actually Greg's cell number there. So really cool stuff. Really liked how it comes this way. And we'll open it up. Alright, so on the inside, this is my invoice. And I think on the one they send there's no price, so I think I can actually... Yeah, it says Praetorian Ti, 0.260 blade thickness, 0.20 titanium scales, custom finished, custom hand ground, and this is a really special Praetorian Ti because it is a rare grind on it. It is a drop point, you will see. And then this is just the warranty card, and you can see it actually was there's Greg's signature there, and the blade number is actually not applicable, there we go, I can speak now, because it was custom done. Cool little business card. I think a lot of you guys have seen this that Greg has. And then get to the knife. Oh yeah, I'm glad I got the lights on this one. One of the reasons I put the two lights is just so you guys could see the different colors that come off of this thing. We'll get the packaging out of the way. So I've wanted a Praetorian for a long time and was debating whether to get the regular stock size one, or I guess the smaller stock size one, which is the less thick blade and less thick handles, and either a G10 material, or they used to have an aluminum material, and now they actually have the what they call the, I guess, Praetorian Ti, but not the custom Ti that Jim Skelton has, but where it's just the less thick, both titanium sides. Or get the full Ti. You know, the Ti is the 0.260 thick blade, the 0.20 thick titanium handles. It comes with the breaker now, and this came up as an availability in reaching out to Greg, and I just had to take it, mainly because of the rareness of this knife. Actually, I mean, all Praetorian Tis are pretty hard to come by. You have to wait a long time to get them from Greg directly, or you have to go through a secondhand dealer. But you'll see on this one, oh yeah. So right here, instead of being the normal Tonto, where it has the hollow ground and then the flat ground out here, it's a full drop point done on this. And from my understanding, on the Tis, a Praetorian Ti, the large, the beefy model, there's maybe been 5 or less done in the drop point. So it makes this thing super rare, really cool. And then they do 3 different finishes on the blade. We'll try to bring this in so you guys can get a really good look at it. This is the NP3 finish. And guys, sorry about the noises going on around. It's storming out here, so there's rain and thunder and everything. But this is the NP3 finish, which stands for nickel plating, and what it really is a nickel Teflon mix that goes over the D2 steel to make it extremely corrosion resistant. And then you can see on the handle here. So the handle was anodized, a blue color with this light bronze kind of through it, and if you really get the light on it, it changes. You have some deep purples to light purples, and then just kind of the overall blue. They flame treated and bronzed the pivot, flame treated all the hardware across here, polished the thumb locks here, and then even across the back. They flame treated the spacers, and then you can just see how thick that blade is all the way to the end. And I think on the last couple of videos too, to help you guys out, I've been doing a lot of really close-ups and not really giving you the overall view of the knife. So I'm going to try and not always hold it so close and let you guys just take in the whole knife. It might be a little bit slower, not as much movement going on, but I want to give you the full view of this thing. Now when you flip it over, you actually get a lot more of the bronze color in the middle there with the handle. And what he did, which I like, is he took the pocket clip and kind of matched it to the blade. So you have the whole handle theme going on, and then you have the matching pocket clip to blade. And you can see kind of matte finished the hardware on the screws there. You have the lock bar, and on this side just kind of matte finished this side of the pivot. Didn't really bronze it, give it a little bit coloring, but more so to match this, so it kind of all goes in connection. But this drop point, seeing this whole piece, this whole cutout grind here, just really stood out to me when I saw this thing for the first time. And then also the back, or the glass breaker, he put the NP3 finish on here too, and this is also D2 steel. But you can just see, well, here we'll do the Greg Medford closing, the claw as they call it. Really easy to close, really easy to open as well. See if we can zoom in on this for you. Well, once again, see, I have it too far to the right, I think. But you know, dead center as far as the centering on the knife. Rotate it this way for you. And then you can just see that different color on there. Oh, sorry, I'll zoom back out for you guys. There we go. But you can just see the smoothness, and then, you know, the regular closing on it. Look at that. Perfect detent on here. Really nice. And just this finish. You really got to see this thing in person to get the full effect of, I mean, it looks mainly, I'm looking through the camera here, it looks mainly blue with the light bronzing through it, but there's really some purples in here, and then on the back side with this, and then just how this clip matches up here. I want to kind of flick this out for you guys to see the action on it. I don't know if I can. I got the lights over here and the camera bar here, so I'm going to try and do it lightly. Maybe we can get it going for you, but we'll check it out. Yeah, see, I mean, you can just roll that out. Let's see if we can maybe back this up a little bit. Get a good flick. Oh yeah, you see that thing? Oh, it just feels so good. When this thing flies out, I mean, the weight of this blade is incredible. I don't know what the weight is exactly on the blade, but it feels this heft flying out, and then when it snaps into place, the sound it makes is not like any other sound I've had of any other knife. I mean, mainly it's probably due to the weight of this blade, and then, you know, where it locks up, and just the heft of everything. But the D2 steel on the full titanium frame, the thickness, it's pretty awesome when you do it. So I'll try to get one more of those for you guys. Yep, see? And once again, I'm working kind of against the camera and the table here. Normally, you know, you have nothing in front of you, just flip it right out. But, and then just to show you how good the D10 is on it still, you know, it's not coming out. You have to do that really good whip, and it flies out. See, that's a pretty good shot there. You can see the different coloring on it. So once again, one of the reasons I want to get this, I love this design. I think Greg just knocked it out of the park with this creation and doing it in both the, you know, the thinner and then the thicker version. This is a heavy-duty, tactical, knock someone's head off knife, obviously. But the thing that pushed me over the edge in picking this one up was the rarity. I actually prefer Tontos. I probably have more Tontos in my collection. I don't know, maybe a close mixture of them, but I like the Tonto style. But when I saw that he did this drop point on here, and I just think the contrast on the blade, having such this big flat and then this full grind across here, where with the Tonto, I don't think you saw as much of the difference there. There wasn't that big contrast, and it just blew me away. And then finding out the rarity of it too. Everyone likes having that limited edition, that special, the one-off, that kind of stuff. So to get my hands on something like this that maybe only 5 other people own or have out there, in the Ti with the drop point, I was like, I gotta have this thing. And I'm really impressed with it. It feels beefy. To overuse the term, obviously it feels like a tank knife. I wish I could even get this camera up a little bit farther. This thing takes up so much space, it's hard to show you everything on here. But let's take a look at the lockup. You can see it's right at 15%. And that pivot looks great. I really like this bronze. I mean, just the little touches right through here. And then this NP3 finish is pretty sweet. I really like it. It gives it that muted tone, but it still has that shimmeriness to it. So it's not mirror polished, but it's shiny. And then you can really see that edge. And like I said, the other cool thing about this was, obviously you get a Medford knife, it's been through the shop, it's had the quality inspection and everything by Greg. But this blade itself was all hand ground by Greg. It was confirmed to me that he did this full blade himself. So that no one else really did anything to this knife except him as far as the blade and grind. And that definitely makes it a custom piece in my mind at that point. To have the owner, the creator, the designer do the full blade and then do it in this rare drop point style. It just sounds so good when you do that. Let's give you a little comparison as far as sizing here. So we'll put, well, you know what, let me get the flashlight out here really quick. See if we can get any. This is the worst flashlight ever. I'm sorry I didn't have anything nicer than this, but just to see if we can get some of those colors to pop even more on here. Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to do, but you can see the design through it. There you go. You can see a lot more of the bronze that way, and then you see the shimmery of the edge on there. Yeah, that didn't work too well. Sorry about my terrible flashlighting right there. Maybe we can pull one of these lights in a little bit and really bring it up to the light so you guys can see the different colors on there. I mean, like I said, you have to really see it in person to get the whole depth of color on there. But we'll get that back. Those where they need to be. Bring this down. Alright, so let's get some size comparisons. Yeah, let's get a little bit more. One more time, thumb it out for you. And I do the Jim Skelton move where you start here and then you come around to the thumb stop and close it that way. I think Greg does it, where he's just on the blade the whole way, but I like catching it on that little nub. I think it works out pretty well. Plus, I like just flying it out because then you don't get any fingerprints on the knife. Oh, it's great. I love it. So I keep getting off topic. Sorry, guys. Size comparisons. There's your Medford Ti. And size. This is a 3.5-inch blade. It's 8 3/4, I believe overall. Yeah, 8 3/4 in total length. And then blade thickness, 260, and titanium thickness 0.20. But here's my Jesse Jarrah's. Little baby knife next to it, full tech. I'll flip this over this way just so you can see with the grinds. But yeah, definitely a difference in size there. This is a 3 1/4 inch blade, and I think a little bit over 7 1/4 inches long. So there's that. We'll put that at the bottom. We'll move this up to the top a little bit. And let's bring out my Browse Blades. Every time I say it wrong. Browse Blades Triple Threat Folder Blackout Edition. And kind of give you a comparison here. So this is a 3 1/2 inch blade too. But really, I mean, it doesn't look, it's not even close in size. Definitely length it's close on, but you can see just the size of the blade of the Medford dominates it. And then to give you one more, actually I'll give you two more. My Browse Blades Reloader. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring this one out, move this down. I know it's going to be out of camera, sorry guys. Bring that down. Is so you can see the difference in D2. So this is a D2 blade as well. Jason Browse uses all D2 in his knives. Greg uses mainly D2. I know he also uses S35 every once in a while. But this, you can see, lengthwise it's pretty dead on. Blade thickness, the Medford still has it. Let's get these out of the way. But just see the difference in the finish on these. So this is a raw D2 blade, and this is a D2 blade with the NP3 finish on it. And you can see, you know, the Browse, even though it's satin finish, has a little bit more mirroring to it, where the Medford with the NP3 finish has that just perfect mutedness to it. And, you know, not that there's one's better than the other, but it gives you a little bit idea, as you can see the difference in why when you see an NP3 coated blade, you're kind of like, oh, that's interesting. It has kind of that almost matteness to it between the two. So I think that helps out. And then lastly, just to show you a knife that is bigger than this, that I do have, and I think you've seen in one of my other videos. Here's the Extrema Ratio RA0. I'll try to get this out of the way here. There we go. Sorry about the juggling around of stuff. And, you know, flip this thing out. And then knock that thing out. So, yes, the RAO is bigger. But, if you check even on the thickness, the Medford is still thicker. This is about 0.24 and this is 0.27. So, and then even on the thickness with this thick backspacer and aluminum, the Medford is still actually wider across. We'll kind of give you a view of these two. So here's the here's the difference in the jars. And you can see that right there. I don't know if we can get that to stand up. And then here's the difference in the reloader. A total difference right there. And then even across with the steel liners. And then with the reloader, same thing. This thing still beats them all out. So, just want to give you a view of that. Let me know what you think. And we'll get all these out of the way. And you know what? We'll do a quick cut test with it. Try to get it right under 20 minutes. So, fan this out. Here's our paper. And look at that. Right through it. I mean, is that nice? Big tank knife cutting through everything. So I hope you guys liked the video. Finish it right at the 20-minute mark. And just so you can see that nice multi finish on there. Thanks, guys.